Daniel was having what he thought was a normal Monday morning. The office was quiet, just the soft clicking of keyboards and the smell of fresh coffee. He was halfway through his second cup, replying to routine emails, feeling pleasantly focused. Then his phone buzzed, a single, sharp vibration on the wooden desk. It was a direct message from his manager, Anna. No hello, no emoji, just 5 words. "We need to talk later today." Daniel's fingers froze above the keyboard. The pleasant morning focus vanished, replaced by a sudden cold feeling in his stomach. His heart gave a hard, uncomfortable thump. Did I do something wrong? He thought, the question flashing in his mind like a warning light. He mentally scrolled through the past week. He'd worked late, met all his deadlines, even helped a colleague, but his brain, now in alert mode, ignored all that. He kept glancing at the clock. The meeting was set for 3 p.m. The next 4 hours stretched ahead of him, feeling like an eternity. As the minutes crawled by, Daniel's calm logic was replaced by a louder, more persuasive voice, the voice of doubt. What if I made a huge mistake and didn't even realize? What if they're not happy with my work anymore? He remembered a small error from the previous Thursday. He'd sent an older version of a report to a client. He'd corrected it within minutes, and the client had thanked him. It was a non-issue, but now, under the glare of that message, it felt like a giant career-ended failure. His imagination, fueled by anxiety, painted vivid, terrifying pictures. Anna's disappointed face, the awkward silence in the meeting room, packing his desk into a cardboard box. At lunch, his friend and colleague, Chloe, found him staring blankly at his salad. Chloe, "Hey, you've been quiet all morning. Everything okay?" Daniel, sighing, "It's Anna. She messaged, we need to talk." Chloe, "Oh, the classic panic inducer. But Daniel, listen, don't jump to conclusions. Last month, she said that to me just to ask about my holiday plans." Daniel nodded, trying to believe her, but the heavy, nervous feeling in his chest didn't lift. The hardest part wasn't the meeting. It was the waiting, the unknown. At 2:58 p.m., Daniel walked into the small, sunlit meeting room. Anna was already there, looking at her tablet. She glanced up and smiled, a warm, genuine smile. Anna, Daniel, come in, sit down. You can relax, you know." Daniel, forcing a smile. "Trying to." Anna, "I just wanted to carve out some proper time to talk about your progress." Daniel blinked. "Progress?" Anna, "Yes, the work you did on the Riverstone project was excellent. The client specifically mentioned your clarity and responsiveness. I wanted to discuss what's next for you. Maybe leading a smaller project next quarter." A wave of pure, dizzying relief washed over Daniel. It felt like taking off a heavy backpack he didn't know he was carrying. All the imagined disasters, the hours of mental torture. For this? Daniel, letting out a breath he felt he'd been holding for hours. "Anna, to be honest, I was really worried. I thought I was in serious trouble." "Anna," she laughed, a kind, understanding sound. "I had a feeling you might be. That's the problem with those short messages, isn't it? Our brains fill in the worst possible story. That's why it's so important not to jump to conclusions." Daniel finally smiled back, a real unforced smile. She wasn't just his manager in that moment. She was completely, undeniably right. Leaving the office that evening, Daniel felt different. The city noise seemed quieter, the evening air lighter. The lesson was crystal clear. The greatest source of his stress hadn't been Anna's message. It had been the terrifying, detailed story he had written in his own mind before any facts had arrived. He had confused anxiety with intuition. From that day on, Daniel made a simple but powerful promise to himself. When faced with uncertainty, a vague email, a cryptic comment, a worrying text, he would follow a new rule. Pause the story. Notice the anxious thoughts, but label them. That's my imagination writing a script, not reality giving me facts. Ask a question. Instead of hiding in fear, he would seek clarity. Could you tell me a bit more about what you'd like to discuss? Remember Anna's words. Don't jump to conclusions. It didn't mean he never felt nervous again, but he had a tool now. He learned to separate the signal, the actual message, from the noise, his fear. And that small change, asking before assuming, didn't just reduce his work stress. It began to change how he talked to friends, how he read the news, how he experienced the unknown gaps in his own life. The message hadn't changed his job. It had changed his mind.